Module 2, YouCreate Phase 1, Map. Welcome back to the YouCreate journey. This module will support you to learn the key roles in YouCreate, learn the objectives of the map phase, enhance knowledge and skills to support youth leaders to facilitate the map phase, learn how to develop trust and connection, and begin to map community resources. The main objective of YouCreate is to create a safe and fun space for youth who have experienced displacement or adversity to build a network of support, strengthen their well-being, develop leadership and artistic skills, and work together to create positive change in their communities. Based on the pilot project in Egypt and Iraq in 2018-2019, the team was able to establish parameters for a successful initiative. For every group of 20 to 25 youth participants, it works best to have a team of 2 youth leaders who can take turns playing the roles of facilitator and note-taker. There are detailed descriptions with tips and guidance in your YouCreate art kit. Each pair of youth leaders should be supported by 1 adult ally. An adult ally can support 1 to 3 teams of youth leaders. There are additional support people required for the project, including project officers, project manager, monitoring, evaluation and learning specialists, and trainers who train the youth leaders. You can read in more detail about their important roles in the project guide. Before youth leaders begin the work in Phase 1, MAP, it will be important for youth leaders and their adult ally to meet together to prepare. There are a lot of things to organize before the process can get underway, such as finding youth participants, securing a safe space to meet, and gathering materials. In the map phase, youth are beginning the YouCreate journey to build trust and map out the different people, places, and things in their community that can support them. In this phase, youth leaders will build trust with their youth group and imagine what their community would look like if the arts were used to support young people's well-being, and explore their community and brainstorm with their young group how different people, places, and things might support youth. Before youth leaders lead the activities in the map phase, the pair of youth leaders should meet with their adult ally to get to know one another, build trust, and plan how they will work together. Remember, the youth leaders are leading and the adult allies are there to support where and when the youth ask for their support. On screen, you can see the list of 2 activities that youth leaders will lead with the youth participants during the map phase. The purpose of developing a community agreement is to establish trust in the group and ensure that there are values and principles that all participants have agreed upon and are committed to uphold throughout the journey together. Youth leaders will invite youth participants to share ideas on what actions, traits are important for all participants to agree to for the YouCreate journey together, and will write them on a flip chart paper. These ideas should include best practices for positive group connection so that everyone feels safe to contribute to their fullest. The purpose of Activity 1, Circle of Trust, is to build trust as a group and begin imagining what young people's community might look like if arts were used to support their well-being. To start this activity, the youth leader will tie a large rope together to make a strong circle. Make sure that the knot is tight and has been tested. Youth will be invited to stand in a circle with arms outstretched, holding the rope at the center of the group. They will lean forward and back and sit down and stand up with the rope. The note-taker will write down notes in the activity documentation form located in Appendix 1 of the art kit during this activity. Remember, this activity is designed to build trust and community. Take time to introduce the value of the circle and its role in unity, equality, and connection. The purpose of Activity 2, Map of Our Lives, is to generate a list of people, groups, or organizations that have an impact on youth's daily life and to brainstorm their potential roles in YouCreate. This is done through looking at the different spheres of influence in youth's life using a social ecological model. Once youth have this information, they can invite people to participate and inform them of their work. Encourage youth leaders to support youth participants to think deeply about what strength exists in their own community that they can draw on. To start the activity, youth leaders can introduce the social ecological concentric circles model and highlight different levels. Next, the youth leader will invite youth participants to share names of individuals and groups that are important at each level for youth's well-being. For example, parents, local governments, artists, and so on. Next, youth leaders will break youth participants into groups of 2 to 4 to prepare skits on how they imagine connecting with people in the community. This activity will be useful at later stages of the project when youth are reflecting on who can support them with their art actions. At this stage, the focus is on the positive influences that exist in the community, but it is also possible to explore potential challenges in each sphere of influence as well. If this is incorporated, it's important to ensure that youth are not overwhelmed. It's much easier for people to think of challenges than it is to think of strength and resources. Though it is important to work from a strength-based approach, we need to recognize how complex issues youth are dealing with are and give space for conversation and reflection. Now, let's reflect on the importance of building trust as a foundation of any group formation, as this is an important theme in the first phase of YouCreate. Take a moment to consider this question. What are the activities and practices that you have used to build trust with youth in the past? Take out a paper and pen and draw an image to represent this and write a short paragraph. You have just completed the map phase. You are now ready to move to Module 3, Phase 2, Explore.